Hello, welcome back to the Cozy Corner. We've completed the Sonic 3 section of Sonic 3 and Knuckles in this Sonic 3 Complete mod. I'm now setting the settings to play Sonic and Knuckles music for the second half. You know, just to make it match better. Like before, we have the max control, which gives us the super peel out, and we're using the mobile controls so we can fly with tails when we want to. Other than that, I think everything in the menu here is as it should be. We have the fast zone music playing during Super Sonic, which is much more pleasant to listen to for the duration of the level. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So, last time we left off, we had just beaten what was supposed to be the final boss of Sonic 3. And we're moving on to the Sonic and Knuckles stages. Here we go, with all 7 Chaos Emeralds, entering what's listed as Zone 8 because we were playing in the pre-release order. Mushroom Hill is a great stage. So after all that work to get our Chaos Emeralds, we're gonna have a little bit of a snag here. Love the sound effect of bouncing on the shrooms. Well hidden, Knuckles, with that switch in the middle of the forest, just jutting out of the ground. So now you'll notice that the rings are rainbow colored, and instead of going to a special stage, they teleport us to this place. Oh, and there went our Chaos Emeralds. We just lost all the ones we collected, so we can't go Supersonic. Instead, they're turned into these uncolored giant gemstones. What are we supposed to do with that? Well, every time you hit a rainbow-colored ring, you can come in here, stand on one of these, and get a chance at a Blue Sphere game. So our goal is to complete all 7 of these Blue Sphere. Oh, sorry, all 7 of these Blue Sphere games. And when we do, we're gonna get what's called Super Emeralds, and these allow us to go into even more powerful form, which, well, we'll talk about when we get there. Now the neat thing is, like, they're very accommodating for this in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is the only time you can do it. You have to have the games locked together to access this. But the Mushroom Hill Zone has, like, at least 10 of these giant rings. So they give you more than enough chances to get all the emeralds before the first stage in Sonic and Knuckles is done. Which we will do. So this is going to be a long one, guys. This is going to be the longest episode in the playthrough. So, if you're not too fond of watching Blue Sphere, then, well, you can skip through that. But a lot of what I'm doing is getting myself in position on the route to run into the giant rings. By the time I get the last ring, the level's pretty much over, so... pretty much like that. It's like a staggered run through the game, through the, level. Which is great, because Mushroom Hill has just got great aesthetics. The music's fun. I really like the look. There's all these different mushrooms that do different things. The whole seasonal change looks really good. Like, I love the look of that. And I even see it where they use that in the press garden in Sonic Mania to great effect. Well, maybe that's a season change. That might not be the right word for it. But it is a season change in this one, drastically. From summer to fall to winter. But yeah, I'm going to be pretty spry on commentary throughout this level because there's only so much I can say about Blue Sphere at this point. We now have the yellow orbs which bounce us, like, they bounce you a certain number of spaces forward, which I can really only contextualize while I'm playing and not really thinking about how far it's sending me, but visually where it's going, you know what I mean? So, what is that, 4, 5 spaces? Something like that? Anyway, you can see how that could make things more difficult. And I'm having a lot of trouble finding my last blue orbs here. There's a lot of variance in the difficulty of these Super Emerald stages. Some of them are so easy you get them first try blind, while other ones are very, very precise and take a lot of tries. And when we complete the stage, we get a short cutscene here of these giant husks kind of being re-energized. Now these Super Emeralds, they don't really use them in any of the other games. Like Hypersonic, Hyper Knuckles, that isn't present in any other games. But one thing I do notice is that the Chaos Emeralds have pretty much maintained the shape that they get from going into the Super Emeralds and Sonic 3 throughout the rest of the games. They have those, you know, diamond, or you know what I'm talking about, that traditional diamond shape. Whereas before they were like these gemstone style things. So, I don't know if they really consider the Super Emeralds a thing, but at the very least, they like the look enough to keep using it. Sonic Mania's got 2 sets of emeralds. I wonder if that does anything. Who's to say? Now this thing can be a little tricky to get right. Alright, time for another one. I don't know if these are color-coded to the levels because I kind of go back and forth between the rows playing them. It's important to jump that blue orb there. Like, that's, if you don't do that, you make it harder for yourself. Now this one, you're kind of using the bounce back and then stopping yourself and turning. It's a pretty tough maneuver, and I think if any of them, this one's going to require a couple tries for most people. Because that mechanic is hard to use, you know, at the moment. Like, in the moment, it's pretty hard to pull off. It's a very much advanced maneuver, I would say. Now, because of the ways those were squared, you could run straight through on that one. And then this last one's the tightest one to get. There you go. I think that's my favorite one. I really like that bounce back and turn. The difficulty of it when you first try it. Out of the preset ones, I mean, about the ones that are always the same. These 14 stages. It can be a little hard to find these rings, so pay close attention here to the moves I'm making. Because Mushroom Hill is a big level. It's a huge level, really. I mean, they have room for 10 giant rings in it. Of course it's a huge level. Got multiple levels, and they have a lot of routes you can take with it. This thing works a lot better with 2 players. This one's a bit strange, too. I didn't find it very hard, though. It's just a little weird. It's kind of like there's just one way to do this level. Which is very unusual. Blue Spirit usually gives you a little bit of flexibility, but this is like a straight-on path, pretty much. Like, it's super easy. Yellow orbs always make me nervous. Always step back just a bit before I take them. But really, like, this is definitely the easiest of the stages for the Super Emeralds. So, where next? I believe I get like 4 giant rings in Act 1 here and 3 in Act 2, I think. Get blue spheres. This is another one of the ones where you feel like you're gonna mess yourself, you have a possibility of like cutting yourself off. But like the other one, I just don't think it actually happens. Or either that, or I'm approaching things in a logical enough way that I'm not running into that situation myself. Plus it has a low spear count, so like, you complete it really fast. Thanks, Doc. Also, it's called Mushroom Valley because that's how it's listed in the level select, so Sonic 3 Complete's like, well, do it that way. Or at least, I think maybe it's always set to that if you do the flying battery thing. Like, it's the same kind of option. The game calls it Mushroom Hill, but in level select it's Mushroom Valley. And it actually is a valley, so that makes more sense. Like, you start in the bottom of it, and it's taking that U curve. So, like, it is a valley more than a hill, so can't quite argue against that. It's called Mushroom Hill because it's, like, the first level Sonic and Knuckles, so it's another hill, like Emerald and Green Hill. This boss becomes very easy with the electric shield. You don't have to worry about getting hit ever, pretty much. Unless you do what I just did. It's all cool. Nice. Fire shield. Alright, Act 2. Alright, Knuckles. Let's change the color palette a bit. We're in the fall season. Look at the leaves falling. That's such a good effect. And here we have the other invincibility music. Let's get my emeralds. Now this one can get you at the end if you're not careful. Keep an eye on the yellow orbs. When you're not surrounded by them, there's one, and you want to make sure you leave yourself a blue sphere next to it. That's the trick. You're going to want to make a jump near the end of this. Otherwise, you'll fail at the last second. Other than that, you're just going in circles and hitting the yellow orbs as you go. See? Did a little jump there. See that yellow orb? Make sure you don't hit the blue in front of it. There we go. Not so bad, right? Two more to go. It sounds like I'm getting a little audio clipping. The game audio there. And that sound effect. Don't know what I can really do about that. And you can pretty much go about this any way you want. It's gonna be a tough one. I'll tell you that. You're gonna get really fast. It's gonna be hard to figure out where to go next when you get near the end. Just practice it a bit. That's my best advice on this one. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the one I was thinking of. This one's not very hard, actually. My mistake. Just got a couple single orbs to get. Not very difficult. I think they, instead of just making it something you have to do fast, they try to make it trickier, but they're not that tricky, so they end up being easier as a result. Like, they're underestimating your pattern finding ability. Not my fire shield. So you can't get past this without a spin dash. So, you can switch the physics and sprite style to like older Sonic games like Sonic 1, but make sure you're not finding yourself on any path with those in Mushroom Hill if you're playing a Sonic 1 or you're stuck. Fair warning. Game gives you a lot of options, but there's certain things that are just the way they are. Alright, let's go get this last Super Emerald. And this one's gonna have a lot of bumpers in it. I feel like it speeds you up pretty quick, too. Spend a lot of time searching in the stage, I feel like. you'll be on the last couple ones for a bit. It just feels like it just keeps getting faster and harder to look around. I never thought about this. Is it every time the song loops it speeds up? Is that what it is? Because that's what it seems like just happened, right? There we go. Last Super Emerald. And now we've got Hypersonic or Super Saiyan 2 or whatever you want to call it. Want to see me turn into a Super Saiyan God? Well, I got the rings for it. Yeah, Hypersonic's even faster. He doesn't have any weaknesses. He can't be crushed, or he can't drown or anything like that. Plus, he's got an attack if you double press jump. This sends him flying in any direction you're pressing on the screen, and it'll destroy all on-screen enemies. So he is, I mean, he's supposed to be OP. You just beat 14 special stages to get him on 2 combined games. Of course he's supposed to be good. But, like, he really destroys the bosses. Really destroys them. There, we destroyed the weather machine. Yeah, Flash. Don't get Hypersonic if you can get seizures, actually. Like, he is seizure-inducing, if anything. Look at that. Destroyed that fight. I like the kind of attempted 3-dimensional space they do in this boss fight that we didn't really get to see because I blew through it. So normally after this you'd go to Flying Batteries, but since we are playing it with the alternate level order, instead we're going to Sandopolis.